God says, the person you love talked to someone about you, and they said, "My child, take a deep breath right now and let the tension leave your shoulders." I want you to find a quiet space within yourself, because the words I am about to share with you are not meant to be shouted. They are gentle, like a soft breeze, and they are designed to reach your heart at exactly the right moment. You have been carrying a weight lately, a sense of wondering and waiting that has kept your mind restless. But today, I want you to soften your heart and simply listen. There is a reason you are here. There is a reason these words are finding you now. It is time for you to hear the truth about what has been happening in the silence, away from your eyes and ears. The person you love, the one who occupies your thoughts in the quiet hours of the night, has recently spoken about you to someone else. I want you to hear this clearly because it is important. This was not a casual mention. This was not a conversation filled with gossip or shallow remarks. It was a moment of profound honesty. They sat down with someone they trust deeply, someone they feel safe with, and your name became the center of their world for a while. They reached a point where they could no longer keep their feelings locked inside. They needed to let your name cross their lips, just to see how it felt to say it out loud. They needed to hear the sound of your existence in the air, because, for a long time, they have only been talking to themselves about you. When they spoke of you, there was a weight to their words. It was a conversation filled with pauses and long silences, where they searched for the right way to describe what you mean to them. They were not mocking you or dismissing what you have shared. Instead, they were trying to make sense of a connection that has moved them more than they ever expected. Sometimes when a person feels something very deeply, they become afraid of it. They don't know how to handle the intensity of a soul bond, so they look for another perspective. They go to a friend or a confidant to test their own thoughts. They wanted to see if the emotions they feel for you were as real as they seemed. By speaking your name to another, they were confirming that you are not just a passing thought. You are a permanent fixture in their heart. You might have felt a bit lonely lately, or perhaps you felt like you were imagining the energy between you. But I am here to tell you that you were not wrong. Something has been unfolding beyond your sight. While you were going about your day wondering if you still mattered to them, they were defending your character and explaining your impact on their life. They spoke about how you make them feel seen without even trying. They talked about the way you listen, the way you laugh, and how your presence has shifted the very foundation of their daily routine. Even when they are busy with work or distracted by the world, your memory returns to them quietly and refuses to leave. They admitted to their friend that they try to stay busy just to keep from thinking about you, but it no longer works. Before we go further into what was said, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to this channel so we can continue this journey together. Your energy is part of this message, and staying connected helps this light grow. The person listening to them noticed something very important during that talk. They noticed that as soon as your name was mentioned, the energy in the room changed. The person you love became more animated, more vulnerable, and more honest. Their voice softened. They asked questions that revealed their inner struggle. They asked their friend, "Why do I think about them so often? And why does this feel so different from anything else I've known?" They admitted that they didn't expect you to affect them so deeply. They confessed that they felt unfinished with you, as if there is a story still being written that they are not quite ready to put down. This is how real feelings show themselves. It is not through grand gestures or loud declarations, but through these subtle shifts in energy that cannot be faked. My beloved child, please understand that this does not mean every problem is solved or that a perfect path is laid out right this second. But it does mean that the connection you feel is absolutely real. You were not imagining the spark. You were not making up the bond. The mark you left on their life is deep and lasting. They spoke about you because you have become a pull in their heart that they can no longer ignore. They described how you understood them without judgment and how time seemed to move differently when you were around. Even if they haven't used the word love yet, the feeling of love was living in the silence between their sentences. They are simply afraid of the vulnerability that comes with naming such a powerful emotion. They also spoke about their fears. They were honest about being afraid of the timing and afraid of making the wrong move. They admitted that they have been trying to be strong by staying quiet, but that silence was actually a form of protection. They felt that if they didn't speak to you, they could keep their heart safe. But by speaking to someone else about you, they have begun the process of breaking down those walls. This is important for you to understand, not so you will go out and chase them, but so you can find peace in your own heart. Understanding that their silence is not an absence of feeling will allow you to breathe easier. You are not being forgotten, you are being processed. You are being considered with a level of seriousness that most people never experience. Right now, the most powerful thing you can do is stay grounded in your own worth. Do not let anxiety take over. Do not feel like you have to force a result. Let things unfold at their own pace. Trust that the conversation they had was a seed planted in the garden of your future. You did your part by being genuine and showing up as your true self. You gave without asking for anything in return, and that kind of pure energy always leaves an imprint that cannot be erased. Stay hopeful, but stay focused on your own peace. You are a soul of great value, and the person you love is beginning to realize that you are not easily replaced. You have touched their life in a way that is inconvenient for their ego but beautiful for their soul. Hold your head high and remember that you mattered enough to be the only thing they wanted to talk about when they finally opened their heart. My child, I want you to stay with me for a moment longer because there is a second layer to this story that you need to understand. After that talk ended, the words didn't just vanish into thin air. They began to echo in their mind, returning to their heart over and over again. You see, when someone speaks about you with such honesty, they cannot simply go back to how things were before. They went quiet afterward, but I want you to know that this silence was not a sign of distance. It was the beginning of a very deep reflection. They started thinking about you in a way they had never allowed themselves to before. Sometimes the loudest shifts happen in the most absolute stillness. In that silence, they began to replay every moment they shared with you. They didn't focus on the big events or the dramatic scenes. They focused on the small, quiet things. They remembered the way you looked when you were just being yourself, the way your voice sounded when you were calm, and the way you reacted to them without any judgment. They realized that, while other people in their life might be loud and demanding, you provided a space of peace that they didn't even know they were missing. These memories surfaced when they least expected them, and each time your face crossed their mind, they felt a restlessness they couldn't explain. By saying your name out loud to someone else, they made your connection real. They had spent a long time trying to tell themselves that what they felt for you was just their imagination or a passing phase, but the moment those words left their mouth, they could no longer hide from the truth. It forced them to face a reality they had been trying to delay for quite some time. They noticed something during that conversation that surprised even them. They found themselves defending you. Even when no one was attacking you, they were quick to correct any misunderstandings and to explain your good intentions. This is a sign of deep respect. People do not protect the image of someone they do not value. If this message is reaching your heart, I invite you to share your journey in the comments and subscribe to this channel to keep this connection alive. Your presence here is a vital part of this spiritual path we are walking together. After that conversation, they began to question their own behavior. They started asking themselves why they were so affected by you and why your absence felt so heavy. They were given advice to be honest with their own feelings and to stop running away from something just because it requires courage. Even though they haven't reached out to you yet, something has shifted on the inside. They are now noticing signs of you everywhere they go. They hear a song on the radio that reminds them of a conversation you had. They hear other people say words that sound exactly like something you would say. These are not accidents, they are reminders from the universe that there are unresolved emotions that need their attention. They are also dealing with a lot of fear right now. They are afraid of getting hurt, and they are afraid that they might not be enough for someone as sincere as you. They worry about past mistakes and whether they are truly ready for something this meaningful. This is why they are moving so slowly. When a person feels something very deeply but acts with caution, it is often because they want to protect what they have found. They don't want to rush and break something that feels rare. They have noticed that you are different from everyone else they have met. You aren't loud or dramatic, but you are real, and that reality makes them feel vulnerable. There have been moments where they almost picked up the phone to call you. There have been times when they typed out a message only to delete it because they weren't sure if they were ready to be that honest yet. They wonder if you are feeling the same shift that they are. But instead of acting on a whim, they are choosing to sit with these emotions. This doesn't mean they have forgotten about you. It means they are trying to understand the full weight of what this connection truly means. You have already done your part. By simply being yourself, you planted a seed in their heart, and seeds always grow in the dark before they are ever seen in the light. This part of your journey is AB. Out having patience. I am not asking you to wait in pain or to put your life on hold, but to rest in your own self-respect. You do not need to prove your worth to them or anyone else ever again. You do not need to chase after clarity. What is meant for you will align perfectly when the time is right. They are currently learning that connections like the one they have with you are extremely rare. They are learning that people who bring peace into their life cannot be easily replaced. They are realizing that time and distance do not make genuine care fade away. If doubt tries to enter your mind today, I want you to let it go. Doubt only comes when you are looking at the surface and cannot see the work being done beneath it. Trust that what is real cannot be destroyed by a period of silence. Stay focused on your own growth and stay aligned with your own peace. The more grounded you become, the more clearly the truth will reveal itself to you. This message is not a promise of a specific outcome, but a reflection of the truth that is already happening. You mattered enough to change the inner world of another person, and that is a very powerful thing. Stay calm, stay open, and stay true to who you are. What is unfolding right now doesn't need to be forced, it just needs time. More will be revealed when the moment is perfectly aligned. My beloved child, as we move deeper into this revelation, I want you to understand that something even more powerful is beginning to stir beneath the surface of the silence you have been experiencing. There is a shift happening right now that goes beyond simple thoughts or memories. It is the arrival of awareness. This awareness is like a slow sunrise entering a dark room. It doesn't happen all at once, but once the light starts to touch the corners, everything changes. The person you love is starting to see their life through a new lens. You are at the very center of that vision. They have begun to notice patterns in their world that they used to ignore, and for the first time, they are comparing the energy of others to the unique peace that you bring into their space. They have spent a long time surrounded by connections that were loud, but ultimately empty. They are realizing that many of the people they interact with are fast and shallow, leaving them feeling more drained than when they started. And then there is you. They see you as someone who is quiet but deep, gentle but lasting. This contrast has become impossible for them to ignore. They are asking themselves deep questions now, not just about who you are, but about who they are becoming. They are wondering why they were so comfortable with confusion and chaos in the past, and why your steadiness suddenly feels so incredibly attractive to them. This is a sign of their own spiritual growth, and as you know, growth often feels very uncomfortable before it feels right. There is a real inner conflict happening within them right now. One part of their soul wants to reach out and move toward the light you provide, while another part is still clinging to what is familiar. We often stay in situations that don't make us happy simply because they are known, and stepping into the unknown, even when it feels right, can be terrifying. They remember the moments when you showed them patience instead of pressure, and when you respected their boundaries without closing your heart to them. They are starting to see that you never tried to control them or force the connection. You allowed it to breathe. That kind of emotional maturity is so rare in this world, and it has left a permanent mark on their spirit. If these words are bringing you the clarity you have been searching for, please take a moment to leave a comment about your experience and subscribe to this channel. Your support allows us to keep sharing these messages of light and hope with souls who need them most. In the quiet moments of their day, they are also feeling a soft sense of regret. It isn't a loud or dramatic regret, but a gentle realization that they may not have shown you the appreciation you deserved. They are coming to terms with the fact that they stayed silent when they should have been honest. This regret is actually helping them build the courage they need to eventually speak their truth. They are admitting to themselves that pushing their feelings away didn't actually erase them. It only made them stronger in the end. They have realized that your presence has set a standard for connection that they simply cannot lower anymore. You haven't lost your place in their life. You have completely transformed it. Your absence is being felt in a very specific way now. In the past, they might have been able to explain away your silence, but now it feels like a missing rhythm in their daily life. It is like a pause in a song where a beautiful melody used to be. This is how they are learning that real connection isn't about talking every single second. It is about resonance. You resonate with them in a way that doesn't fade just because things have gone quiet on the surface. They carry you with them during ordinary moments, while they are working, while they are driving, and while they are trying to sleep. They are learning that genuine bonds don't demand attention, they command respect. They are also looking at their own readiness with a new level of responsibility. They are wondering if they can actually meet you where you are and offer you the consistency you deserve. These questions aren't a form of rejection, they are a sign that they are taking you seriously. They don't want to play games with your heart because they respect you too much for that. They have noticed that you never tried to compete for their attention or make them jealous to get a reaction. You stayed in your dignity, and that quiet confidence has left a lasting impression that no amount of loud behavior could ever match. You have brought a sense of balance into their emotional world that they didn't even know was possible. For someone who might be used to emotional swings and uncertainty, your steadiness can feel unfamiliar, but it is exactly what their soul is craving. You aren't being measured against anyone else. You are being understood in your own unique space, and that space is being protected more than you realize. This process cannot be rushed by you or by them, it must be lived through. Your only job in this phase is to remain centered and true to yourself. Do not shrink who you are just to be chosen. Your peace is your power, and it is the very thing that is drawing them back to you. Trust in the timing of your life, and know that what is real never truly disappears. My child, as time continues to flow forward, a very soft but deep layer of this journey is beginning to reveal itself to you. It is the stage where the heart stops fighting what it feels and moves into a place of true acceptance. The person you love is no longer questioning whether you matter. That answer has already settled deep within their bones. They have realized that your presence brought a permanent change to their life, one that wasn't loud or demanding, but incredibly lasting. They have stopped trying to distract themselves or run away from the thoughts of you that naturally arise in their quiet moments. Instead of feeling anxious when your name comes to mind, they now feel a sense of calm and grounding that they haven't found anywhere else. This is a moment of deep recognition for them. It feels like a familiarity that doesn't need a long history, an unders. Tanding that doesn't require 1,000 explanations. They have realized that with you, they don't have to put on a mask or perform for attention. They can simply be who they are, and in a world that always asks for more, that kind of emotional safety is a rare treasure. They catch themselves smiling when your memory passes through their mind, not out of a painful longing, but out of a genuine warmth. This warmth is proof that your connection brought peace to their world, not the chaos they might have been used to in the past. If this message resonates with your soul today and brings you comfort, please leave a comment below to share your thoughts and subscribe to this channel so we can stay connected on this spiritual journey. Your energy helps keep this space alive for everyone seeking truth and light. They are now looking at their old habits with new eyes. They are questioning why they used to choose what was easy over what was real. You didn't fit into their old, shallow patterns, and that is exactly why you stood out so clearly from everyone else they have ever known. They understand now that their hesitation wasn't about your worth, but about their own readiness to protect something so meaningful. They are learning that they no longer want confusion disguised as excitement. They want stability, and they want a connection that allows them to grow alongside someone else without losing themselves. You have become their reference point for what a healthy, respectful connection looks like. They have noticed that your absence feels like a missing rhythm in their daily life. Silence with others feels empty, but silence with you feels unfinished, as if the air is still waiting for the next beautiful note to be played. They see you more clearly now, not as an idealized fantasy, but as a real person with incredible strength, patience, and self-respect. They see that you didn't chase them or beg for their attention, and that dignity has made them respect you more than words can say. They understand that you are not someone to be approached casually or with half-hearted effort. You are someone to be approached with true intention. I want you to know that while things might seem quiet on the surface right now, quiet does not mean stagnant. It often means someone is choosing care over impulse and careful preparation over a reckless rush. They are moving differently now, becoming much more selective about where they give their energy and who they allow into their inner world. They have realized that surface-level attention is tiring and that they want something that resonates at a deeper level. They are imagining what it would be like to meet you again with this new awareness, not to recreate the past, but to build something entirely new based on honesty and presence. Your role right now is to stay rooted in your own light and your own routine. Do not let the uncertainty of the moment pull you into a place of doubt or self-criticism. Doubt only grows when you don't see the full picture. but deeper processing is happening every single day beneath the surface where you cannot see it. You are growing stronger and clearer, and your value does not depend on how fast someone else reaches their own clarity. You are not being paused or put on a shelf. You are being considered with a level of seriousness that shows how much you truly matter. Trust that real things do not lose their value. In the quiet moments, they only gain depth. They are learning that real connection requires showing up emotionally, not just saying the right words. They know now that rushing something this meaningful could damage it, so they are taking the time to ensure they can offer you the consistency you deserve. You did not imagine the depth of what you felt, and you did not misunderstand the energy between you. What you felt was mutual, even if it was expressed differently or kept hidden for a while. Stay open without expectation, and stay peaceful without detaching from the hope in your heart. Your worth is constant and does not decrease because someone else needs time to grow. Stay steady, my beloved child. You are not forgotten, you are not overlooked, and you are certainly not replaceable. The way you touched their life was real, and real things do not disappear just because they are inconvenient or require a bit of courage. Everything is unfolding with intention, even if the pace feels slow to your human heart. What is growing in the dark will eventually rise into the light when it is strong and ready enough to stand. Until then, keep your spirit light, hold your peace, and stay true to the beautiful, sincere person you are. The journey is maturing, and you are exactly where you need to be. Trust the timing of your life, for what is real always finds its way back when the moment is right.